Good evening. I've been giving a lot of thought lately, well, really for the last 6 months, to the subject of shunning. And I wanted to address the question, how do we mourn the living? And I'm going to tell you ahead of time, I don't have a good answer for you yet. I may never have a good answer for you. But I think it's a question that we need to think about. When we lose somebody to death, we go through stages of grief. We feel denial, anger, bargaining, and depression. And we may revisit some of those stages of grief multiple times. But eventually we reach a point of acceptance. We know they're not coming back. And we can remember the good times and move on with our life. Being shunned is similar in that we go through these same kinds of stages of grief. We have denial, we have anger, we have bargaining, depression. But being shunned is different than losing somebody to death in a couple of significant ways. If it's a religious shunning, and we've come out of a separatist group, an isolationist group, we didn't have any close friends that weren't in the group. Likely our close family, in many cases your entire family, were inside that group. So when you're shunned, it's not like death. With death, you lose one person. When you're shunned, you lose everybody at the same time. It's barbaric, it's brutal, and there's no way you can prepare yourself for it. Even when you make the decision to leave an organization like that, there's no way you can prepare yourself for what it feels like. So that's the one way that's different. You're losing everybody, not just one person. But another way that it's different than death is that the person's not dead. So does that make it worse? Does that make it better? Well, there's a quote in the movie The Dark Knight Rises that I really like. This is the third movie in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. I'm a huge Batman fan, and I love this quote. It's from the main antagonist, Bane. Bane takes Bruce Wayne and throws him in this prison. And it's not like an ordinary prison that's all closed up. It's at the bottom of a pit with a very wide opening. But the pit is deep. So you can see the sky, you can see the sun, and there are footholds all the way up in this pit. And this is what Bane says. He says, "Home, where I learned the truth about despair, as will you. There's a reason why this prison is the worst hell on earth. Hope. Every man who has ventured here over the centuries has looked up to the light and imagined climbing to freedom. So easy, so simple. And like shipwrecked men turning to seawater from uncontrollable thirst, many have died trying." Now, I'm not suggesting that we are in a prison, those of us who have been shunned. And I'm not suggesting that we are in a state of despair. But I think it illustrates the frustration of hope. We hope that our loved ones will wake up. We've come out and we can see the organization for what it is. And it's hard for us to comprehend still believing it. Believing the lies that we had been told. And it just feels like surely the people we care about who value our opinion will think, well, if he left, maybe I should think about this twice and look into it deeper, do some research. And they'll come out eventually. It might take them a year or so, but they're going to come out. So I guess that's a lot like either denial or bargaining, and we get kind of stuck in that. And then the anger comes. Anger that an organization can hold these people hostage or use them as a way to emotionally blackmail you into coming back to something that you know is false. So that hope that they'll come out makes it really difficult to reach a point of acceptance. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't know what the answer is. I will give you a link in the description of this video, and I'll put it in the video itself, to a video by another YouTuber who is also a former Jehovah's Witness. And he's got a series of videos for helping former witnesses to overcome the many things that we have to face, including shunning. And he's got one video that's about letting go of people. And he makes it clear that he's not saying letting go of them forever, but letting go of them so that their opinions of you and the fact that they are shunning you and judging you and viewing you as wicked and evil, that you can let go of all of that. It's kind of a guided meditation type thing. So for what it's worth, I'll put it in the video, and you can see if that helps you. This is something that I'd be eager to hear your input on. How do we mourn the living? It's something I'm going to continue to give thought to. But I do have this thought, which hopefully will help. The illustration that I gave from that movie about being in this prison doesn't apply 100% because we're not in a prison. We've been banished, which is different. We left a prison. The people that have banished us are still in that prison. So although it's awful to lose everyone we care about, we have a whole world to investigate. And I don't mean world in the way that we are taught to think of that word as indoctrinated cult members. I mean the world. There's a world of possibilities. There's so many things to experience, so much to see and to do, without the influence of an organization that is like a parasite on your mind. We have the freedom to think and explore ideas and meet people. There are so many people that we can get to know that were not an option before. And we can meet people who will care for us and love us unconditionally. It doesn't matter if we don't agree with them or have the same beliefs as them. They will appreciate us for who we are. So I guess in a way, how do we mourn the living? By finding a new family, finding new possibilities, and exploring who we really are. And in time, maybe the loss, maybe the shunning won't feel as barbaric anymore. Maybe being banished isn't that bad when you're banished from a prison. Thanks for watching.